yourself a favor. Make yourself some money. The way to survive this is through getting intelligent information as to what's going on. And the one place, because this is a person who isn't owned by any big organization or anything, that's Robert Chapman. Subscribe to the International Forecaster. I get it twice a week, and you can get it twice a week through your email, or he can mail it to you. Let me give you the number, www.theinternationalforecaster.com. Put the in there with the word, put them all together, theinternationalforecaster.com. He'll send you a free issue, and you'll see what I'm saying. It's about 30 pages, twice a week, and I couldn't live without it. I mean, it's the difference between keeping my head above water and being under, because I've been listening to what Mr. Chapman's been saying for the last 5, 6, 7 years, however long he's been on with us, and he has made me money. You also can call 877-479-8178. Let's do that again. 877. Free call. Love free. 877-479-8178. 479-8178. Give him a call. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk with Mr. Chapman about is that you've got, you say that China and the U.S. are both ripe for a revolution. The elitists may have failed because the dollar is set for a certain collapse. The elitists may have failed. That's the good news. The bad news, or questionable, that the U.S. and China are both ripe for a revolution. I see no problem with that. It certainly looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, in China, they have 30 million unemployed, and they've tried to solve that problem by allowing an infusion into their economy of $1.26 trillion. And that has taken people off the unemployment lines over the last 6 months. And it'll probably carry over another 6 months, maybe even a year. But after that, they're going to be back in the same position that they were before. And all of the major G20 countries are doing the same thing. And, of course, you know all about the stimulus package in the United States and all that $14.8 trillion that's been created by the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department. And so all the countries are doing this. They're all going to have inflation. The Chinese are going to continue to have disruptions, more so 2 years from now than they are now. And I think the situation in China will continue to deteriorate like it will all over the world, because, you know, they do a lot of exporting to the United States, and if people can't use their credit cards or they can't get equity out of their home to continue this profligate spending that they've been doing for years, then they can't buy. And if they can't buy, then China can't sell goods to the United States. And another thing, too, is the dollar is continuing to go down in value, which means goods coming into the United States more expensive, which incidentally is inflationary, and it's also bad for China and Japan as well, and any other country that exports into the United States, because they're going to sell less and less goods there. This is going to affect the whole world, but it's going to line up almost every country to a situation where the people are going to get restless, and who knows what they're going to do. I mean, we could have revolutions in lots of countries.
One of the interesting quotes is from Nassim Nicholas Taleb, author of the best-selling finance book, The Black Swan. And you talk about him in an interview on Bloomberg Television. He says, we have a very strange situation. I'm quoting from the International Forecaster. It's the worst of capitalism and socialism. Profits were privatized, losses were socialized, and we, the taxpayers, have the worst of it. This is not the capitalist system. Banks have to be nationalized because we're having profits privatized. In other words, they make money, they put it in their pockets. They lose money, the government bails them out. That's a really nice position to be in. And it is not a viable capitalist system. We can't keep our capitalist system surviving under such a deal. And they keep waving, and you listen to Hannity and you listen to Limbaugh. We're in the free capitalist system. Let's have free markets. We have anything but free markets at this point in America.
Well, you're right, and it goes a lot further than that, because the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury, under executive order, have been entering into markets since 1988, but more so in the last 10 years, to manipulate them. And it's every market. Every single market in the world is being manipulated by the United States government. And they want markets to go up, and they want bonds to stay sacrosanct. They want commodities to stay down. They want gold and silver to stay down. And they enter the market with that in mind, and they have people 24/7 rigging markets. This is why I tell people you can't use short-term charts or cycles or waves to decide what markets are going to do, because these are not normal markets. They're being rigged. And sooner or later, it'll end when we have a catastrophic part of the Depression, which we're already in. But they're going to continue as long as they can, because the bankers are broke. You know, under fractional banking, you can lend $8 or $10 for every dollar you have in deposit in your bank. What these people have been doing, and they still are, they're lending 40 to 60 times their deposits, which is, they turned everything into a casino. And like I said in the article, and other writers are now starting to pick up on it, and that's why I ran that article, incidentally. They are continuing to falsify everything, and they think they're going to get away with it. In the final analysis, they're going to lose control. And 3 weeks ago, they had a Bilderberger meeting in Greece, and the top of the agenda was, we're losing control of this thing, let's rein it in. And so they can't rein it in, is what the problem is. It's gone beyond them.
Taking on a life of its own now. As of May, 1 of every 398 households got a foreclosure notice. Oakland, California is near bankruptcy. You've got California is very near a meltdown in the next 50 days. And there are two events that I wanted to ask you about that I found to be extraordinarily interesting. One was there was missing gold at the Canadian Mint, and the other is the gold certificates that were the certificates for trillions of dollars that were picked up over on the Swiss border. And I'd like for you to tell a little bit about both of those issues. I don't think they have anything connecting each other, but let's talk about that when we get back on Erskine Overnight.